and gentlemen, it's a true privilege to stand here before you today on this big day for us, the day when ANTARES project is officially starting. And let me start by quoting Victor Hugo, who once said that nothing is stronger than an idea whose time has come. And indeed, the time to employ information technologies in agriculture is now. This has been evidenced throughout the globe. Google and American IT sector is turning towards applications in agriculture in Farm 2050 initiative. The World Economic Forum in Davos last year focused on fourth industrial revolution and the links between virtual and real worlds. Even the European Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Phil Hogan, recently said that what we need above all now is for ICT to engage with the agri-food sector. And that is the mission of BioSense Institute. Our mission is to do science for impact, to do game-changing, multidisciplinary, and above all needs-driven research in various fields of IT, starting from nanotechnologies all the way to artificial intelligence and big data analytics, with the final goal to provide data to the end users. Whether it's farmers or companies or governments, they need to be able to make informed decisions. And that's why all these technologies are there. Our vision and objectives of ANTARES are to create a European center of excellence and to make agriculture of tomorrow more efficient, sustainable. We couldn't do this alone, so we have partnered up with the best. We see our partnership with Wageningen University Research and also with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Development as a molecule of water. You take one atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen. Individually, they're just atoms, but together they create something amazing, water. How are we going to do this? ANTARES, thanks to the European investment, is going to invest heavily into human resources. We plan to get, but also to grow and maintain the best researchers in the field. Thanks to the national investment, we plan to invest a lot into research infrastructure, into equipment and building, but designed in such a way to foster fundamental research, but also creation of innovations, and finally, the commercialization of the results. We plan to create excellent science, but also we plan to constantly interact with the stakeholders, with end users of our research results, and to constantly refocus our research towards their needs. As for people, we plan to hire or to open around 150 new jobs here. Only this year we plan to hire 23 new researchers here at BioSense from the Commission's funding, but also from the national regular funding of science, where we are really focusing on exposing our young researchers to best European practices, and in that way nurturing a new generation of Serbian researchers that will be able to create impact. It's not only about numbers. It's about entrepreneurial mentality that we are growing in our researchers, about multidisciplinary skills, about skills to transfer knowledge from field to field and from academia to the industry. As for the research equipment, we are planning, thanks to the government of Serbia and the Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Development, a very strategic investment into specially designed fields that we see as of strategic importance for the development of science, but also for the impact on the agri-food sector tomorrow. This high-tech equipment will be located in a high-tech building that will be built at the end of the street here within the campus of University of Novi Sad, with more than 6,000 square meters, with 25 specialized laboratories, around 50 offices for researchers, with a specially dedicated space for accelerator, where SMEs and startups and entrepreneurs as individuals could come, work, and directly and on a daily basis collaborate with researchers, with meeting rooms, with amphitheaters, with space for science and society to meet. We are very happy to be given the plot by the provincial government of Vojvodina, which is within the campus, which will significantly foster the interactions with other researchers here, but also which is, as you can see on this slide, extremely close to the main promenade of the city of Novi Sad along the river of Danube. We will use this also to reach out to wider society to create this plaza where one media facade will actually 24/7 display tweets, research results, motivational messages to our fellow citizens so they fully grasp the importance that science has for the overall socioeconomic development. Then we always talk about transferring research results from academia to the industry. It's easy to say it, but it's very difficult to actually do it. So we have foreseen 4 different mechanisms how to do so. With BioSense Accelerator, we plan to continue our activities and acceleration. There is a very strong segment of IT already in Serbia, and especially in the city of Novi Sad. Around 10,000 people work in IT, but most of them work in outsourcing, which is actually a very nice activity, but the value adding is happening elsewhere out of Serbia. Through a number of acceleration projects that we have been awarded by the European Commission, from FP7 fractals to Horizon, Katana, and Internet of Farming, we are able to provide funds to IT companies in Serbia, and up to now we have provided around 5 million euros to 43 companies, IT companies, and we try to focus them to create their own products, their own software products, and particularly products which work in the agri-food sector. So we will continue this in a more formalized way through something that we call BioSense Accelerator, through the space in the building, but also through trainings and mentoring that we'll be giving to these companies. As for the agri-food sector, we plan to establish, together with our colleagues from the Faculty of Agriculture, a demonstrational farm, a one-stop shop where farmers could come and see hands-on, real life, what technologies can offer to them. Also receive trainings, receive lectures together with extension services, but we feel this is very important. Farmers in Serbia, in some cases, have money to invest in technology, but it's very difficult to decide in which technology or which solution would suit their needs best. BioSense Regional is another initiative where we plan to defragment the research efforts in the entire Balkan areas. As researchers, we have very good collaboration with various groups who are very active in the countries around us, but who are not big enough or not connected enough to make a real impact. So with BioSense Regional, we try to connect different research groups from Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Hungary, Romania, and together create much bigger impact and offer much wider range of services. And finally, a very nice mechanism that we learned from our partner in Wageningen, shared research facility, where we plan to make all the equipment purchased through national funding and all the equipment that already exists at BioSense, to make it available to a wide circle of users, starting from researchers here at the University of Novi Sad and throughout Serbia, but also to startups, to companies, to SMEs, to entrepreneurs. Great number of companies, they do need some research and development, but only the largest of them can afford to have development departments. So we plan to develop kind of science on demand service with one PhD student or one group developing what is exactly needed to the companies in the accelerator. Finally, we have a history of growth. We are located here in the region of Vojvodina, in the province of Vojvodina, where entrepreneurial IT and agriculture coexist. And there is already a critical mass of stakeholders in this field. We have been doing good science, and we have been so far recognized for our entrepreneurial mentality. They often call us the first public startup. And we were able to grow thanks to the support of the European Commission. Since the very beginning of FP7, so some 7 or 8 years ago, we won one of the first capacity building projects, FP7 AgroSense, which we see today as the first quantum leap in our development. Some 4 years ago, we again received a major funding of around 3 million euros, FP7 project Innocence, which made a second quantum leap for us. And now, finally, with ANTARES, we will be able to make the final third quantum leap and truly evolve into a European Center of Excellence. We need to sustain this. There is a global demand for what we do. By 2050, there will be 10 billion people on this planet, and we need, as a society, to produce 70% more food than we did up to now. And this increase can only come from deployment of new technologies. But also, we have a wide support here in Serbia. Only recently, actually for the first time in modern history, today governments of middle-income countries are investing more into research in the agri-food sector than those of high-income ones. Serbia recognizes that IT and agriculture are our 2 main strong points. And therefore, and I thank you warmly, we truly have a very good support here from our government. And finally, our determination to do open innovation, to provide science which fits the demands of our end users, will in a way determine our sustainability in the future. So with ANTARES,